Hello everyone, I am dealing with the chapter Magnetism and Matter, and this is the session 5 of this chapter, and in the session 4 we had discussed about the Earth's magnetic field. So let me just revise it once. So if this is the Earth, so Earth behaves as a magnet with this as the geographic axis. This is named as the geographic north and this as the geographic south, and we have one more axis where the bar magnet comes to rest, and this axis is called as magnetic axis, and this pole will be the south and this will be the north. Now whenever you bring the bar magnet to rest or you are going to make the bar magnet to set free, then it always comes to rest in the north-south direction. So I am going to set a bar magnet free, then it always comes to rest in this north-south direction. That is, the north of the bar magnet, north pole of the bar magnet is attracted towards the south pole of this Earth, magnetic south, and the south pole of the bar magnet is attracted by the magnetic north. But while writing, we are going to write this as magnetic north and magnetic south. We also studied the three important elements of Earth's magnetic field. So if I say this is the geographic meridian and this one is the magnetic meridian, you all know geographic meridian is a plane, an imaginary plane which always passes through this geographic axis, and magnetic meridian is also a imaginary plane which passes through this magnetic axis. So I have these two planes and there is an angle between the two planes which is nothing but the declination, the first element of Earth's magnetic field. And if the net magnetic field of Earth is in this direction, BE is the net magnetic field of Earth, then the angle, this could be taken as the horizontal and this as the vertical. So here horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field is denoted by HE and vertical component of Earth's magnetic field is denoted by ZE. The angle between the net magnetic field of Earth's magnetic field and the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field is nothing but the I. I is what? I is the angle of dip, or it is also called as inclination. And these are the three components which you have already studied: the declination D, inclination I, and the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. This is what we had done in our previous session. Now in today's class, I am going to define what is magnetization and magnetic intensity, and also we are going to derive a relation connecting magnetization and magnetic intensity. So let's first discuss what is magnetization and magnetic intensity. Coming to magnetization, say I have an atom. What is an atom? Atom is the smallest unit of any matter. Now atom consists of a central nucleus, and around this an electron will be revolving. So electron revolves around the nucleus. Now electrons are in motion. The motion of the electrons constitute current. So if this is the direction of the motion of electrons, the current is constituted in the opposite direction. Always the current will take up the direction which is opposite to the motion of the electrons. Now this setup is very much similar to a current loop. So I can say an electron which is revolving around the nucleus is very much similar to a current loop. So if this is a current loop, it just acts like a dipole. So current loop is nothing but a dipole. It has two poles, north and south. So this is a dipole, and since it is a dipole, it has a magnetic moment. So this has a magnetic moment which is denoted by the letter M, and magnetic moment formula is given by NIA, which you have already studied this. Now this is the magnetic moment, but this is the story of a single electron. But in an atom there may be many number of electrons. So I have just taken a single electron, but there will be many number of electrons in an atom. So in that case, what happens to the magnetic moment? The magnetic moment of the complete electron will be added vectorially. So we are going to add the magnetic moment of all these electrons together, and we are going to get a net magnetic moment. So in each atom there will be a magnetic moment in a particular direction. So let me consider a matter. So say I have considered some type of material where there are so many number of atoms. So in any material there are many number of atoms. Each atom will have a net magnetic moment, and the direction of this magnetic moment are very much random. As you all know, how to find the direction of magnetic moment? Just curl your fingers in the direction of the current and your thumb indicates the direction of the magnetic moment. So if you find the magnetic moment of each atom, they are in the random direction. So in this material, all the atoms are having magnetic moment which are in the random direction. So next let us see what will be the magnetic moment of this material. So the net magnetic moment of this material will be equal to 0. Why is it 0? That is because of its random direction. So one is directed in this way, other one is directed in the opposite direction. So what will be the effect of them? It will be 0. Similarly, the atoms are having different moment direction, therefore it becomes the net magnetic moment will be equal to 0. Now what I next do is I am going to place this thing in a external magnetic field. So let me place this material in an external magnetic field. So I have applied the magnetic field in this direction. So this is the direction of the magnetic field and the material is placed in this external magnetic field. Then all these magnetic moments which are directed in a random direction, they are going to align themselves along the direction of magnetic field. Why? That is because these dipole are going to experience a torque due to this external magnetic field, and this torque makes them align in the direction of the magnetic field. So all of this are going to align in the direction of the magnetic field. So now I can say this material is magnetized, and this property of the material to get magnetized when placed in a magnetic field is called as magnetization M. It is denoted by the letter capital M. So magnetization is a property in which a magnetic material when placed in an external magnetic field gets magnetized, and this is called as magnetization. And magnetization can also be defined as, this capital M is also defined as the net magnetic moment divided by the volume. That is, if you are going to consider a unit volume in this material, a unit volume like 1 meter cube or 1 centimeter cube, then whatever the magnetic moment is present in that unit volume is nothing but the magnetization. So magnetization is the magnetic moment per unit volume. And we are going to now write the SI unit and dimension for this magnetization. So tell me what will be the SI unit for this? As you all know, magnetic moment is NIA. I is ampere, N is the number of turns. Let us forget about this. I is ampere, the unit of I is ampere. Area's unit is meter square. Therefore it is ampere meter square divided by, what is the unit of volume? It is meter cube, and therefore this meter square and a square gets cancelled here. SI unit is ampere per meter. So the SI unit of magnetization is ampere per meter. Now tell me what will be the dimension of this? L minus 1A. So this is the dimensional formula of magnetization. So let me say whatever the magnetic field which is produced inside the material due to the magnetization of the material is Bm. So Bm is the magnetic field produced inside this material. Now this will be proportional to M, capital M, that is magnetization. That means if you are going to apply more, that is if the magnetization increases, the magnetic field inside this material also increases. So I can write Bm is equal to mu naught M. So remember this, Bm is equal to mu naught M, where mu naught is the absolute permeability of free space. So Bm is equal to mu naught M. The next thing we are going to discuss now is magnetic intensity H. The magnetization is a property that is going to magnetize the material which is placed in an external magnetic field. Coming to magnetic intensity, this is the physical quantity which causes this magnetization. So what is magnetic intensity? Magnetic intensity is denoted by the letter capital H, and it is the ability of the magnetic field. Like if I say I am applying the magnetic field B to the material, then it is the ability of this magnetic field to magnetize the material. So whatever amount of magnetic field you are going to apply, that much the magnetic material is going to magnetize itself. So I can say the ability of the magnetic field to magnetize the material medium itself is called as magnetic intensity. Now if I say I have a solenoid, you all are very much familiar with the solenoid. Solenoid is a insulated wire which has been wound in the form of an helix, and let me say I is the current which is flowing through this solenoid. Then as you all know, this magnetic field outside the solenoid is always 0, and the magnetic field at the center of the solenoid will be very strong, and the magnetic field produced inside the solenoid is given by the formula mu naught N I. So let me consider the magnetic field produced by this solenoid due to the current which is flowing in it is nothing but B naught. I am going to consider it as B naught, and which is equal to mu naught N I. So the magnetic intensity can be measured by the number of ampere turns flowing in unit length of the solenoid. So how do I measure this? It is measured by the number of ampere turns flowing in the unit length of the solenoid. So from this I can write H is equal to, so if I consider this as the unit length, then H will be written as the number of ampere turns per this unit length. So we are going to count how many ampere turns are there in a unit length, and that will be the H. So from this formula I can write B naught as equal to mu naught H. Now coming to the SI unit of H, SI unit of H will be same as the SI unit of the magnetization. So what is H? H is nothing but the number of ampere turns, Ni. I is the unit of current is ampere, but we define this H for number of turns per unit length. Therefore the SI unit is ampere per meter, and the dimensional formula will be L minus 1 A. So both magnetization and magnetic intensity are having same unit and dimension. Now what I do is, I am going to take up this material and place it inside this solenoid. So the current which is flowing in the solenoid has created a magnetic field, that is B naught. Next what I do is, I am going to place a material and place it inside this solenoid. So before this material was not magnetized. So next when I place it inside this solenoid, it gets magnetized. The material will be magnetized. So whatever the magnetic field of this material is taken as B net. I am going to write it here. It is B net. So what is B net? B net is the net magnetic field of this material, and this B net is said to be greater than B naught. What is B naught? B naught is the magnetic field due to the solenoid, due to the current which is present in the solenoid. So we know magnetization is nothing but the property of the material to get magnetized when it is placed in an external magnetic field, and the magnetic field inside that magnetic material will be equal to mu naught M. And coming to magnetic intensity, it is nothing but the ability of the magnetic field to magnetize the material medium, and it is denoted by the letter H, and inside a solenoid the magnetic field produced will be equal to B naught, which is equal to mu naught H. Next, in this solenoid I am going to bring a unmagnetized material. So I have a material which is not magnetized and I am going to place it inside this solenoid. So this is the external magnetic field where I am going to bring an unmagnetized material. So this is the material which I am going to place. And as soon as I place this material is going to get magnetized due to the magnetic field inside this solenoid. B net is the magnetic field produced inside this magnetic material, and B net will always be greater than B naught. So what is B naught? B naught is the magnetic field produced due to the solenoid, current flowing in the solenoid. B net is the magnetic field produced inside this magnetic material. Now this B net is always greater than B naught. Why is that? Because B net depends on two factors. The first one is the external factor, and the second one is the internal factor. So what are these external and internal factors? External factor is the current flowing in the solenoid. The current flowing in the solenoid is producing the magnetic field in the solenoid, and because of that the material which I am placing gets magnetized. Therefore, this is due to the current flowing in the solenoid. So the physical quantity which is responsible for this external factor is H. And coming to the internal factor, what is that internal factor? It is nothing but the nature of the material. Nature of the material. That is nothing but the magnetization M. See, the magnetic material which is getting magnetized will depend on the nature of the material. So magnetization always depends on the nature of the material. Therefore, there are two factors on which this B net depends. One is the external factor and another one is the internal factor. External factor is the current which is producing the magnetic field in the solenoid, and the internal factor is the factor which is inherited by the magnetic material. So this magnetic material is inheriting a property which is nothing but the magnetization. Therefore, these are the two factors which is responsible for B net, and therefore this is always greater than the B naught. Now I have placed a material inside the solenoid. So solenoid is producing some magnetic field, and this material which is placed in an external magnetic field has got magnetized. Now the net magnetic field will be equal to, what are the factors on which this B net is depending? On the external and internal. What is the external factor? It is nothing but B naught. B naught is the magnetic field produced due to the current which is flowing in the solenoid, plus the internal factor. What is the internal factor? It is nothing but the magnetization of the material, that is Bm. Magnetic field produced due to the magnetization of the material or the nature of the material, which is Bm. Therefore, B net is equal to B naught plus Bm, and this will be equal to, what is B naught? B naught is mu naught H plus, what is Bm? It is mu naught m. This will be equal to, take out mu naught common, then this is H plus m. This is B net. Now this is a relation connecting magnetization and magnetic intensity, or I can also write this formula as H is equal to B net divided by mu naught minus m. So this is the expression for magnetic intensity in terms of magnetization. Next, I am going to say, let me write this equation as 1. Next, I say that the magnetization m is proportional to the magnetic intensity H. That is, if you are going to increase the magnetic intensity, the magnetization of the material will increase. So the magnetization completely depends on the magnetic field you are applying. So magnetic intensity increases, the magnetization should also increase. Therefore, they both are directly proportional to each other. Now I can write this as equal to some constant into H, and that constant is chi. This symbol is a Greek letter which is called as chi. It is written as CHI, pronounced as chi. It is chi, and this chi is nothing but the magnetic susceptibility. The magnetic susceptibility. So what is chi? Chi is the magnetic susceptibility, and this chi can be defined as the ratio of m by H. So the magnetic susceptibility is the ratio of magnetization and magnetic intensity. So note down, it is defined as the ratio of magnetization and magnetic intensity. And this chi doesn't have any units and dimension because the units and dimensions of m and h are same. Therefore, chi has no unit and no dimension. And we are going to study more about chi in our next sessions. So chi could be positive, negative, it can take positive value or negative value depending on the type of material we are going to choose. Therefore, this will be studied more in the classification of the magnetic materials. Next, coming to this, I am going to substitute this. I will take this as equation 2 in equation 1. So what happens to equation 1? Equation 1 becomes the net magnetic field is equal to mu naught into H plus, I am going to replace m by chi H, and this is equal to mu naught, H is taken common, I am going to get mu naught into 1 plus chi into H, and this will be equal to mu naught, and this 1 plus chi is written as mu r into H, or I can write mu naught mu r as equal to mu. Therefore, B net will be equal to mu H. The very important relation which you have to remember is, here we have replaced mu r as equal to 1 plus chi. Remember this. Mu r is the relative permeability of any material. So the relative permeability is nothing but the ratio of the permeability of the material to the permeability of free space. That is, I can write this mu r as, mu r can be written as mu by mu naught. So you can see from this relation I can write mu r as equal to mu by mu naught, where mu r is the relative permeability, which is defined as the ratio of permeability of any material to the permeability of free space, and this mu r is given by the formula 1 plus chi. So this is very important relation. Mu r is related to the magnetic susceptibility as mu r is equal to 1 plus chi. Remember this formula. So I'll revise these things once again. Magnetization is the property of the material to get magnetized when you place a material in magnetic field. Magnetic intensity is the ability of the magnetic field to magnetize the material medium. Now whenever you have a solenoid, the solenoid is going to produce, the current which is flowing in the solenoid produces magnetic field inside the solenoid, which is given by the formula mu naught as B naught is equal to mu naught H. And when you place a material inside the solenoid, the material gets magnetized due to the magnetic field present in the solenoid, and this magnetic field is given by B net, which is equal to B naught plus Bm. As I have already told you, B net depends on two factors, the external and the internal factor. So this B net can be written as mu naught into H plus M, and we also know that the magnetization is directly proportional to the magnetic intensity. So from that I am going to get M is equal to chi H. This chi is nothing but the magnetic susceptibility, and this magnetic susceptibility is the ratio of magnetization and magnetic intensity. And magnetic susceptibility measures how much the magnetic material responds to the magnetic field. So whenever I place a material in a magnetic field, then how good the magnetic material responds to that magnetic field is what this chi tells us about. And this chi doesn't have any units and dimensions, and the units and dimensions of M and H will be the same. And from this we got a relation B net which is equal to mu H, and here the very important relation which you have to remember is mu r is equal to 1 plus chi, where mu r is the relative permeability, and this relative permeability is the ratio of permeability of any material to the permeability of free space. So in my next session, I am going to discuss about the classification of the magnetic materials, and here I am going to end the session. Thank you.